What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we have a full Dreepy evolution team. So we got Dreepy, Drakloak, and Dragapult. A pretty good bunch of Pokemon, especially Dragapult. So today we're only going to be using 3 Pokemon, which is going to make this a very good challenge. If you want your own custom theme team or Pokemon sweep, you can check it out at patreon.com/PIMPNITE. The link is in the description of the video, tier 2 and above. So today I've got 3 battles with the Dreepy evolution team, and I really hope you enjoy. So we got a 3v3 here. This one was against Akina Umbreon, and we've got a very interesting matchup here. So the first Pokemon we got is the Farfetch'd Galar, and I've got Dreepy. Now this Dreepy doesn't get a lot of moves, right? Especially attacking moves. So its best move I gave it was Draco Meteor, and I've also got Double Team on here, Thunder Wave, and Baton Pass. So I thought I might be able to pass some evasion off onto one of the other Pokemon and do a bit of damage with Draco Meteor. So the moves I got pretty much only is one attacking move, so I have to make sure it counts right. So Farfetch is going to go for a Detect the first turn, blocking my first attack. Now the EVs I've got on Dreepy are Max Speed and Max Special Attack, and I've also got Timid Nature there too, so I can outspeed most things, right? Dreepy is still fairly fast. So we got the Surf Edge getting paralyzed. It's got to pop a knockoff. I've got the Sash as the item, right? Dreepy isn't what you call bulky, and that was a critical hit too, so that is a very, very scary Pokemon. Like, if any of my Pokemon get hit by that, they're going to get hit, like, really, really hard one. So dropping the Draco on the Farfetch there almost takes out. It was very, very impressive damage there. Sadly, now Dreepy is going to faint to another knockoff. But the good thing about this is I can swap pretty much any Pokemon in that I've got remaining, not that there's many, and take out the Farfetch there, right? I actually did a Duck Pokemon team very, very recently. I revamped my old one. So going to Drakloak here, this is a very bulky Everlight set with a Will-O-Wisp and Hex, works very nicely. Farfetch is going to go for Detective, so there's not really much that's going to really do there. I guess they just did that to see what move I was going to use. So I went for Hex. Now, this is a very bulky special defensive set, and I'm going to be using Will-O-Wisp there on any physical attacker, so it's all around very, very bulky. The ability on this one is Curse Body too, so I tried to make use of all the abilities of the Dreepy evolution line. So in comes the Kabutops. It's going to go for a Stone Mist here. It lands, does a lot of damage to me. I'm very lucky that it wasn't a crit, because that would have... that could have nearly ended me then. So Will-O-Wisp does a miss, which is great, and now Kabutops is going to be burned. So this turn I'm thinking, I could go for a Hex here, but I actually want to get my health back, so let's go for Rest Ride. The second Stone Mist doesn't hit nowhere near as hard as the first one, and I got a beautiful Curse Body there. So I'd say that was Kabutops' strongest attack there. So I can go to sleep here, and then I can hopefully maybe snag a Sleep Talk Hex there. So that'll be very, very good, right? I feel like Kabutops, maybe it's got Sword Dance, but it's going to have to boost its attack there while I can attack it, which should give me an advantage. So here comes the Liquidation. Kabutops' only real other attack that can hit me with that's not very effective anyway, and doesn't do like hardly any at all. So I'm good to rock and roll here. I could go for the Sleep Talk. Hopefully I can get a Hex and get some damage there. Drakloak is going to get Will-O-Wisp, mate. Oh, man. That's alright though, I mean, at least I didn't get rest, right? So Kabutops is going to get hurt by its burn there. It's going to go for Liquidation here again. Obviously they're just trying to get as much damage as possible. The Kabutops is pretty much done there, it's burn, right? And if it had Sword Dance, well, it would have used it already, right? So go for another Sleep Talk. Hopefully I can get a Hex here, and I get Will-O-Wisp twice, come on! So that was very, very unfortunate there. But at least now I'm going to wake up and use Hex Ride. So Kabutops is going to continually go for Liquidation here. It's actually nearly got half my health, and they get a defense drop. I'm like, man, I was hoping that didn't happen. Unfortunately, it did. So popping off the Hex there on the Kabutops does some very good damage. The next one will take it out. And Kabutops, I reckon, is probably going to go for a Stone Edge this turn. So it's going to be no longer disabled, because obviously it's disabled no longer. And we got the Stone Edge there, and Hex is going to take it out. So that defense drop actually kind of mattered a lot there. I took a lot more damage than I would have. So bye-bye Kabutops. That's 2 Pokemon down. Now there's only one more left, and that is going to be Reboot. So Reboot, I'm not sure if it's going to be a Libero set, but this is also going to be their Dynamax Pokemon. So I don't know if it's a physical set, a special set. I really have no idea. I've still got Dragapult in the back too. Now, Dragapult was easily the best Pokemon on this team, and I pretty much had to bring a decent set because, as you can see, I've only got Dreepy and Drakloak there. So and they're not exactly hard to beat, right? So in case I come across any real sweaty Pokemon teams, I had that one in the back. So here comes a Max Flare there, and Drakloak is going to be going down. I've got no idea what that came from, a physical or special move. because simply I was on a low amount of health, so it didn't really matter there what it was, right? So I've got Dragapult left as my last Pokemon. This is a physical set. It works pretty well around the board here, right? We've got D-Dance, and we've got Dragon Darts, Phantom Force, and Steel Wing for Fairies, right? I thought that'd be quite good. Also, Steel Wing's very, very good at getting Defense Boost, Wire, and Dynamax too. I've got Max Speed, and I've also got Max Attack. And I'm thinking here, well, I could go for Max Guard here, stall out one turn of the Reboot's Dynamax, and then I can attack it the next turn, and then it'll be out of Dynamax then, so that should give me an advantage, depending on what it actually has, you know, to hit me with right there. The sun is up anyway, so the fire moves will probably doing a little bit of damage, but there's no way Dragapult is going to get one-shotted, hell, even two-shotted, right? So obviously I will be going first here, and the next turn I'll be going first too. So go for Max Guard, and here comes a Max Flare from Reboot. So obviously that's the best attack that Reboot has against Dragapult, right? So we're going to go for Max Phantasm right now. That's going to be good against Reboot. It does nearly half damage, so that's pretty good. And it also is going to drop the defense, which is definitely going to be in my favor once the Reboot is out of Dynamax, right? So it's going to get a chance to hit me with the Max Flare here. It does pretty good damage considering it is resisting. And that is the final turn of Reboot's Dynamax there. Now, I went for the Max Phantasm again. They went for a quick attack, changed themselves into a normal type to dodge my Dynamax move. So very, very good play right there. I wasn't sure they had Libera until that moment then, right? Obviously, they were already a fire type. So I'm out of my Dynamax. Nice dodge with the Dynamax here. I am going to be able to go for the Dragon Darts and outspeed them here. The first one hits very hard, and the second one is going to take them out there. But a very, very good 3v3 battle right there. Hope you enjoyed the first battle. Thank you, Akino, for the battle right there. That was a pretty interesting team. Like, I had to shut down that Farfetch'd, dude. That was scary, and the Kabutops could have caused me a lot of trouble too. Let's get on to battle 2. This one was against Kenji. This is a 3 versus 4 battle. Now, with my evolution teams, as you know, like, these are some of my very, very favorite teams to do. That's why I've been doing a lot of them lately. I've been trying to do 2 of them a week there because we've got so many to do, and plus I enjoyed them a lot too. With these teams, I normally try and normally, at like the worst case scenario, I have like 4 Pokemon. But if it is a reasonably strong evolution line, or there's like a Pokemon that's really strong, say Dragapult, I'll go with 3. So this is a very interesting battle. We got a Cherubi as the lead, going for a Draco Meter after the Thunder Wave here. And this is actually a very, very similar team to mine, right? Not the fact that they're using Dreepy, but they're actually going to be using an evolution line as well. So we got the Sunny Day from Cherubi here. Now, Cherubi is going to be setting up its fellow teammates here. I can go for a Draco Meter, and that should be enough to take it out. However, my special attack is going to be next to nothing now, right? So at least I took a Cherubi out, right? So that's one Cherubi down there, getting a crit too. I mean, you could get a crit on Draco Meter. That could be handy, but the chances of that happening are, they're pretty slim, right? So you don't want to be relying on that. So, next Pokemon is Cherrim. So, when Cherrim is in the sun, a Flower Gift is going to activate and turn it into Sunshine form here, which is really, really cool. This thing's got a lot more offense, and it's also going to be their weapon of choice for the Dynamax here. So, I'm not really worried about this, because this works out fine, because Dreepy's got a Sash. So, I should be able to, take 2 turns of Dynamax away from the Cherrim too, which would be very handy. Then I'll have I still got my bulky Drakloak there, and I've got my Dragapult in the back too, if I need it. So outspeeding, go for Draco Meter. Obviously, it's going to do no damage there. I'm at, -6 now. And Cherubi is going to go for a Max Starfall. Now, I know for a fact that's coming off Dazzling Gleam. I know the Cherubi evolution line very, very well. In fact, that's an evolution line I haven't done yet on YouTube, so it'll probably be one that I do in the future. Absolutely, I'm trying to, eventually do them all. That's sort of my goal. I'm doing all the Pokemon sweeps eventually, and of course, I'd like to do the evolutions too. I just like to. I sort of want to have a videos where I use all the Pokemon. So it'd be cool to say that I've used all the Pokemon. Right? Not that I haven't already, but you know what I'm saying. So we got the Dreepy going down to another Dazzling Gleam there, or Max Starfall, and the Misty Train is going to be on the field here. So right. That's actually going to power down my Dragon-type moves too, so it works out pretty well, and it's super effective. So going to Drakloak here, I can go for a Hex. That's my best plan here. I thought it'd be too risky going for a Will-O-Wisp. Here comes the Max Starfall. So this will hit me fairly hard there, and it indeed does. It nearly takes me out in one shot. That was very, very scary right there. So the sun is going to go away. The Flower Gift is going to wear off, and now we've got the Cherrim back there. So that's not as going to be as threatening, I guess you could say. Now, I could go for a Will-O-Wisp or a Hex here, or I could even go for a Rest, but I can't with a Misty Terrain. So what I'm thinking about doing is I thought this would just take me out there, right? So I think I just went for rest, and I can't do Will-O-Wisp there. So I was in a bit of a rock and hard place there with a Misty Terrain special by Drakloak. I could have gone for a Hex right there, but I just went for one this turn anyway. So this is another Cherrim, so it's a shiny Cherrim. Now, someone pointed something out pretty cool here. I can't remember who it was on one of my streams. They said that Cherrim Shiny looks like Reggie Drago's, and it actually does. If you take the little top bit away, it's the same color scheme. It's actually really cool. Anyway, sorry about that. We got the Cherrim actually having the Sunshine form coming out here again, and I don't think the Sunshine form is any different in Shiny mode. I'm trying to see if there's I don't even think there's maybe a slight saturation. I'm not really sure, but it's very, very minimal, which is kind of disappointing, right? It would have been cool if it's, I don't know, something else like actually changed. So going for a Hex, and we got the Will-O-Wisp happening here, so it's doing good damage. Now the Cherrim can actually go for the Weather Ball there, which is going to take my Drakloak out on lower amount of health. Once again, I couldn't really go for rest there because Misty Terrain sort of like, sort of stopped me from doing that, and I felt it would be better to go for the Will-O-Wisp instead of rest that turn. So we got a Curse Body on Weather Ball, so at least I can't do that right. So there's 3 more Pokemon left. I've got my Dragapult here. Of course, this is a very, very decent Pokemon, so I'm just going to go for the Dynamax here, and I can simply attack here. I don't want to take any damage there if I go for Dragon Dance and stuff. I don't want to risk any, outside damage, and I feel like a couple of Dynamaxes should be enough to take this out there. I think it's pretty cool there that a Dragapult actually just slowly, just ever so slightly disappears there for a second when it goes into Dynamax. So it's probably going to be only one of the few times you see me use a physical Dragapult there on this evolution deck. So going for the Max Steel Spike there, that is going to give me a nice +1 in defense. So if I have to deal with any hard physical attacks, that'll definitely help me out, right? And the opponent has already expended their Dynamax. So in comes the next Cherrim. Flower Gift is going to activate. Yeah, I think it's just a small, just looking at the evolution, sorry, the form change there. It's just ever so slight. I think it's a little bit more dull when it's not shiny. Looking at that, they're all dancing up the top of the screen. Looking at them. Okay, that's we got one more Pokemon left, I believe, and it's another Cherrim. So this is going to be a normal Cherrim because the sun has gone away there. So going for the Max Whirlwind, and that is also going to drop the Cherrim there. That's very, very unfortunate. They won't be able to get an attacking move off there. So that's 4 Pokemon down, and that was their entire team. It was a Dreepy evolution team. So very, very cool. I like your team there, Kenji. Thank you for the battle. Let's get on to the next one. The thing about Dreepy and Drakloak and Dragapult, it's a very unbalanced team, right? Like, I've got one really good Pokemon and 2 Pokemon that are sort of like, very, very average, especially Dreepy, right? So it's always hard to get exciting, entertaining content with these, right? So we got a battle. This one's against Huntdown, who actually just had this one. This was quite a long battle. So we got a Whiscash lead here. I went for a double team because I want to try and get around some moves right and see what I can do. I might even baton pass him. Now, the Whiscash is going to be a special set, and it's going to go for Future Sight. Now, for a long time, I always wondered why Whiscash had Future Sight, because I never ever played the Mystery Dungeon games. And then I played them, and I was like, oh, that actually makes sense, right? So in comes the Obstagoon. I probably need to take this out because it is quite a threatening Pokemon. With any dark type move, it's going to be bad, right? So Draco Meteor does a very, very good amount of damage here, right? And we've got a Flame Orb there too. Now, my opponent's team was, I believe it was a team that came from Surprise Trade with random nicknames or funny nicknames. I believe that's what their theme team was there, because obviously no one's going to be able to guess that team, right? So Dreepy's going to get it's funny because I had the Focus Sash activate, then the Fling flung the Flame on me and burned me, so the burns are actually going to take me out after this turn, which is pretty funny, right? So I get another Draco Meteor off on the Obstagoon. Now this is also funny, right? Future Sight actually misses, so imagine, right, I got hit by that. Imagine if that hit at the same time. That would have been hilarious. So I guess Dreepy, that was a good way to get around the Future Sight from the Whiscash. Not that I believe it would have hit really, really hard, right? Now, Obstagoon is on a low amount of health here. I'm going to go for the Dragon Darts. I don't want to really make contact with this thing in case it does have Obstruct, which I had a feeling it might. And it's going to take a round of damage from the burn, which is okay. Not that it really matters. Dragon Darts was going to take it out regardless whether it had an extra, round of burn or anything like that, right? Now, I don't really want to Dynamax prematurely here because there is a Pokemon on my opponent's team I am a little bit scared of, and I don't want to do it just yet. So what I'm thinking about doing, right, is swapping the Dragapult out and going into my Drakloak, right? So in comes the Whiscash there. Why is it nicknamed Painful? Like, that's such a weird name, like, is Whiscash in pain? So it's like a catfish, right? Maybe it swallowed some bait it didn't like or ate something. So we got another future type. I think future type may be Whiscash's only attacking move there, and the rest of the moves are like troll moves. So it's going to be swapping out, and the Greedent is going to come. It's called You Suck. So, man, that's not very nice. Whoever nicknamed that Pokemon and sent on surprise trade, that was very mean. You really hurt my feelings right there. I'm really feeling it right now. I'm getting roasted. So I burnt the Greedent. Because, you know, it's called You Suck. So I swapped out the Drakloak. There's no way I can use Hex against that. The only Pokemon I can really do here to do any damage at all is Dragapult. And now it's going to go for Tail Whip. I've got Clear Body, so that's not going to affect me. And I can go for a Dynamax here. So taking the Future Sight, it's a 3-hit KO against my Dragapult. I really actually have to Dynamax here because I'm not sure what else this Greedent actually has, and there's still a couple of Pokemon in the back, right? So, and Greedent's very thick too, so I'm thinking right here, look, even if I hit it with my strongest attack, I don't believe it's going to take it out because, you know, Greedent's got so much health, right? It's quite a tanky Pokemon, you know? That's actually also another thing too. I'd like to get all the Generation 8 evolution lines done too, which I nearly have got them done. I reckon there's about 4 or 5 left, and that's every single Gen 8 evolution team done, which is the first time I've ever done that for an evolution, for like any generation. So I'll be able to cover a lot of the other ones then as we go into Gen 4, so I can cover a lot of the new Gen 4 Pokemon we haven't seen for ages, or just new Pokemon we haven't used in like years and years, right? So the Greedent is going to be eating a Custard Berry. Of course, watch this, right? It goes for a Thief. And it should have stolen my Weakness Posse, but Weakness Posse activated before it actually got the item, and it boosted my attack stat. That's going to boost my attack by 2 stages, and Greedent is going to go down. That's pretty rough, though, like stealing an item, and the item actually activates before the Thief, comes into effect. So you probably think that, you go for Thief on Dragapult or any Pokemon if it had a Weakness Policy, right? You thieve the Weakness Policy before it activated, but since it was super effective, it activated, right? So in comes the Vanilla. It's called a very interesting name there. I don't know why they call it that. Maybe they got swept by whoever saltily traded it on surprise trade or whatever it was, right? And it's going to have a focus actually, right? And it's also got weak armor, which is going to make it very, very fast. Probably faster than my Dragapult, I've got to say. It's a physical set with Icicle Sphere. This is not good if I get hit like a lot of turns there. I'm actually really glad I got that max steel spike up like 2 stages because it would have taken me out here, right? So here goes that was a 4th one, and then a 5th one comes. I'm like, oh no, please live, please live. And I did. I lived on 7 health. Man, that was very, very close. Now, this is the Pokemon I was a little bit worried about in Team Preview. I thought it'd come and just slide me with 3 Powder Snows. So it's going to outspeed me with an Astonish, and it's going to take my Dragapult out. That was very mean and disrespectful there. I got to take this thing out. It's a threat, right? So all I've got left now is my Drakloak, and I don't have Dynamax. I've got to rely on the pure bulk of this set. Now, it's more special defensive, which is a problem. So here comes an Astonish here. Look at the damage that did, right? And of course, the Cursed Body is going to come to effect, and I get a flinch, which is actually very bad because now we've got Icicle Sphere coming my way, right? So there's one. Look at the damage it's doing to me, right? There's the second one right there, and thank goodness it only landed 2 times, right? Because if it landed 3, it was all over Red Rover, right? So go for the Hex, and since it's only got 1 health left, the Ice Cream is going to faint right there. Man, I haven't had ice cream in a hot minute. Then again, it has been winter here, so I guess the ice cream season is coming up. So in comes the Whiscash again with its apparently only has Future Sight, right? I'm going to go to sleep here, right? And that's going to get all of my health back there. Then I might be able to get a Will-O-Wisp and a Hex moving on this Whiscash, right? I don't know what other moves it's got. So it's going to be going for Future Sight here again. I know that I can tank that very nicely because this is a very special defensive set. And we got the Whiscash swapping out. And the next Pokemon is the Sylvia. I was like, oh no. Now, I was really, really worried about this set, right? So I was hoping I could get a Will-O-Wisp turn 1, then go for Hex. And I got Hex. I'm like, okay, well, that's going to do no damage at all, right? I don't have any special attacking EVs, nothing. It's fully bulk, right? Now, the Sylveon's got the leftovers as the item. And what actually happened this turn was kind of interesting, right? So obviously it swapped into the Hex. Now I can go for the Sleep Talk this turn. I was hoping, like, please get Will-O-Wisp, please get Will-O-Wisp. And I did. I was like, great. This is perfect. Like, all I got to do is live Sylveon's attack, right? If it is a special attacking Zeb, I should be able to live it. Not amazingly well, but I should be able to live it. Then the Sylveon goes to sleep. I'm like, what? Okay, so they want to be asleep. So the only thing I can think of that is they're probably going to be making use of Snore, and it's Pixelate Snore. So I need to spam Hex, right? I've got to go for the Hex, and maybe maybe Curse Body could come into effect too. So even with the power of the other Pokemon being status, right, Hex is doing nothing, right? So here comes the Snore here, but I tanked the Snore pretty well, only because of like I'm so bulky on the special side, right? And Sylveon, Snore isn't like a really powerful move. Like if that was any like stronger move, I would have been in some serious trouble, right? I mean, I still am in serious trouble. Don't get me wrong. So go for another Hex there. It's about a 6-hit KO against the maybe a 7 against the Sylveon here, and I live the next Snore there. And look at this, I got a Curse Body on the Snore. Then I'm thinking, right, I wonder if this Sylveon actually has any other moves than Snore, or is it purely based around putting the opponent to sleep? Then they swapped the Sylveon. I was like, okay, it's definitely based around putting the opponent to sleep. So the last two Pokemon only have one move strategies, right? So I thought, there's a chancey here, right? But I've got to go to sleep. I've got to, get my health back here and try and get back into this match. I'm in a very, very bad place at the moment. Like, I need to take this Whiscash out too, right? So at the moment, I'm asleep. I really need a Will-O-Wisp here so I can start using Hex like next turn, and I get Hex. I'm like, okay, I guess, that's better than nothing, right? It's better than getting rest, so, which is good, right? Now this is interesting. So the Whiscash is going to go for Future Sight here, right? Like, I thought that Sylveon would definitely be the Dynamax Pokemon, but it's going to be Whiscash. It's like, okay. So Whiscash, the interesting thing is, right, it can still use a Psychic move, right? Because now it's going to come off as Max Mindstorm. And I've got to think about that Future Sight hitting me in a couple of turns as well. So, and also the Max Mindstorm, right, is going to put Psychic Terrain on the field, further powering up all those moves. Yeah, so like, man, this is going to drop pretty hard there. Even from a meme set, look at those big blue lips, right? Like, look at them. So I got a rest there, Sleep Talk Rest. I mean, you couldn't hope for a better move to get. And here comes the first Max Mindstorm from Whiscash. Doesn't do a heap of damage, right? But that's not really what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the next thing, right? Now, Future Sight, I believe, is going to be boosted by the Psychic Terrain, of course, and as long as it hits while the Psychic Terrain is up there, right? So I went for the Sleep Talk, and I got the Will-O-Wisp there, which is great, right? And I think I just went for the Will-O-Wisp. Anyway, here comes the next Max Mindstorm. It does hit a lot harder than the other one did. And here comes the Future Sight. I was wondering if I was going to be able to live this one. Unfortunately, I took like 2 attacks in one turn there, and that was too much for a little Drakloak. Thank you for the battle hunt down. There's a pretty interesting Whiscash set right there. I hope you people enjoyed this video. I'll catch you next time. Peace.